Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. 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 When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. 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 Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Prayer is power. When you pray, then you are in touch with your higher consciousness. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Pray. Pray. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. Pray. Pray.
Welcome, everyone, to Dr. Pillai's Religion of Religions YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be doing a planetary puja using the chart of now, based on my current location, which is here in Florida. Dr. Pillai has said the foundation of all religions is love, and it is his desire through the Religion of Religions YouTube channel to unite the many different sects of all religions by meeting in the spiritual realm, by meeting in the heart. We believe in the supreme divine power taking form in all the gods and goddesses from every religion, and we celebrate their existence on planet Earth. The intention of this YouTube channel is also to give an authentic experience of God, the experience of divine love, where there is no separation from each other. My name is Swamini Valli. I am a Pillai Center teacher and an AstroVed astrologer, and I'm very happy to be hosting Planetary Pooja Monday through Friday on this channel. Dr. Pillai has explained that the planets and stars are more than just objects in outer space. There's also a divine light being associated with each of them, and they have different gifts or blessings that they can send to us if we are receptive to them. So in doing the planetary puja, we are honoring the planets, we're honoring them, the stars that they're in at the moment, the archetypes that rule those stars, and the planets that rule the different zodiac signs that are containing stars today. And we are making ourselves receptive to blessings from all of them to come into us and also into our world. We're using the chart of now, which represents in a little chart form the location of the planets in the zodiac signs that they're in at the moment, looking up from planet Earth with a sidereal view or the Vedic view into the sky. This representation of mapping is called the South Indian style chart, and there is a link below the video for a tutorial video about the South Indian style chart if this is something that's new to you. Each of the 12 little boxes on this diagram represents a different zodiac sign, and the different planets are listed within zodiac signs here with their little abbreviation. So we'll go into more on that in just a few moments. I have the chart drawn also in chalk on a chalkboard on a side table, and that's where I will perform the actual puja. Also on the side table, I have a lit tea light. I have a little container of clean water. I have a hand fan. I have a bell. And I also have a bowl of fresh flower petals. I'll be offering the flower petals as we go along during the puja. Flowers have an esoteric quality about them. They're very pure. They're very, very pure. It's rare to find such purity actually here on planet Earth as the purity that we have in flowers. And when we hold a flower, when we're doing a prayer or doing mantras, the flower has so much purity, it's able to take those sounds or those prayers right into the realm of the Akash or the causal plane and update our own Akashic record with those sounds. So we're very, very grateful to the flower petals for how they help us in doing our practice. I start with first taking the little container of water, and I dip the ring finger of my right hand into it, and I sprinkle a few drops of water on each side of the blackboard, representing the 4 directions. I sprinkle a little bit of water on top of my own head, and I send a few drops of water out into space towards all of you to purify everyone watching, who's watching either live or later on the replay. This is to help all of us to participate in the puja from a sense of sacred space or sacred ground, with the little drops of water. Next, we're going to invoke the archetype who removes obstacles, which is Ganesha. He's a remover of obstacles, and he also is considered a patron of astrology. We'll invoke him with the sounds Om, Sring, Gung, S-R-I-N-G, G-U-N-G. Om Sring Gung, Om Sring Gung, Om Sring Gung. We ask Ganesha to come and to remove all obstacles from this puja, and to remove obstacles for all of us in entering into deeper positive connections with all of these divine beings. Next, we do a short Tamil chant asking all of the planets to be beneficial towards us. I did put a link for the words to that chant up above earlier in the chat, if you want to look at the words. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Avar Kumikave, Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Avar Kumikave, Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Avar Kumikave. We ask all of the planets to be beneficial towards us. We are grateful to Saint Yana Samundar for teaching this chant, and we are grateful to Dr. Pillai for sharing it with us. Now we're going to honor the various time elements that are active right now in my local area. We're going to honor the planet that rules the day, the star that the moon is in, the Tithi, or the moon phase, the Hora, the planet that rules the Hora. We're going to honor the Yoga, and we're also going to honor the Karana. And I need to just pause for just one moment and take care of something here at the house. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for your patience with that sudden interruption. Okay, we start with honoring the planet that rules the day. In my local area, this is the moon. I will put flower petals on top of the moon as we honor him on my little blackboard that has the chart. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Next, we honor the star that the moon is in. Right now, the moon is in a star called Ardra, a star represented as a teardrop of compassion. We honor this star. Om Ardraye Namaha. Om Ardraye Namaha. Om Ardraye Namaha. Now we honor the Tithi, or the moon phase. Right now we are in the 11th waning moon in my local area, called Ekadasi in Sanskrit. Dr. Pillai said we would use the Sanskrit name of the moon phases, followed by the word Devi, which is a word meaning light being. So we're invoking the light being associated with this moon phase. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Ekadasi Devye Namaha. Om Ekadasi Devye Namaha. Om Ekadasi Devye Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules the hour. Right now in my local area, the hour is being ruled by Mars. We honor Mars, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now we will honor the yoga and the Karana time elements. Dr. Pillai said for these elements, we would not do flower petals. We would simply say their name and do their name 3 times. The yoga right now that's active is one called Vajra, which has the energy of a burst of power. Vajra, Vajra, Vajra. And the Karana that's active right now is one called Balava, which has energies that are spiritual. Balava, Balava, Balava. Now we turn our attention to the chart of the moment. Dr. Pillai said we would start with the ascendant sign, which today, represented by AC here on the chart, is in the sign of Virgo. We start with the ascendant sign, and we start first with honoring a planet that rules that sign, which today is Mercury. We honor Mercury, and I put flower petals on him. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. We just honored Mercury for being the ruler of Virgo. Now we're going to honor him for being in that sign at the moment. In this sign, he rules the sign, and he's also exalted here, or very, very strong. So it's an excellent day for honoring Mercury. I put the flower petals on him. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Next, we honor the star that Mercury is in at the moment. The moment he's in a star called Uttara Phalguni, which is a star of relationship energy. It's when the moon was in this star, it's said that that is when Shiva and Parvati got married, that's when the actual marriage happened for them. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Mercury. Om Uttara Phalgunaye Namaha. Om Uttara Phalgunaye Namaha. Om Uttara Phalgunaye Namaha. Uttara Phalguni is ruled by an archetype called Aryaman, who's an archetype that rules contracts, keeping our word, having a sense of honor. We honor him. I put the flower petals on Mercury. Om Aryamanye Namaha. Om Aryamanye Namaha. Om Aryamanye Namaha. Uttara Phalguni star is ruled by the sun. We honor the sun, and I put flower petals on him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Kanya or Virgo, a sign that is the most analytical and the most detail-oriented of all the zodiac signs. Today containing Mercury, planet of communication, planet that helps with all forms of buying and selling, and also planet that helps us to manage all the details in our daily life. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Tula or Libra, which today contains Ketu. We honor Ketu, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Ketu is in a star called Vishaka. This is a star that gives energies for victory, triumph, success. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Ketu. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by a pair of archetypes, Indra and Agni. Indra can give blessings for leadership and courage, and Agni can give blessings for transformation and purification. We honor both of them, and I put the flower petals on Ketu. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Om Indra Agniye Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Libra, which is Venus. I put the flower petals on him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Tula, or Libra, a sign that has energies of harmony and balance, today containing Ketu, which is sometimes called the saintly planet. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign going in a clockwise direction around the chart is Makara or Capricorn, which today contains Pluto retrograde and Saturn retrograde. When planets are retrograde, they are extra powerful. We start with honoring Pluto, and for him we use the sounds Om, Krum, Krutankaya, Namaha. I put the flower petals on Pluto. Om, Krum, Krutankaya, Namaha. Om, Krum, Krutankaya, Namaha. Om, Krum, Krutankaya, Namaha. Pluto is in a star called Uttarashada. This is a star that can give blessings of success. It opens up more blessings as we express our gratitude, and it can give blessings for long-lasting success. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Pluto. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Om Uttarashadaye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the 10 Visvadevas, 10 light beings who each embody a different, unique, divine universal principle. We ask for blessings from all of them, and I put the flower petals on Pluto. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Uttarashada, which is the sun. I put the flower petals on the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we honor Saturn for being in Capricorn, and I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Saturn is in a star called Dhanishta. This is a star that can give blessings of wealth, music, and good reputation. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Danishtaye Namaha. Om Danishtaye Namaha. Om Danishtaye Namaha. Danishta star is ruled by the 8 Vasus, 8 light beings who each rule different spheres of existence. We honor them, and I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Danishta star is ruled by Mars. We honor Mars, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Capricorn, which is Saturn. Again, we honor Saturn, and I put more flower petals on him. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Makara or Capricorn, a sign that can activate ancient past life skills and abilities. Today, containing Pluto, a planet that helps with rationality and science, and Saturn, a planet that helps with patience, compassion, service. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Meena or Pisces, which today contains Neptune retrograde and Jupiter retrograde. Again, when planets are retrograde, they are extra powerful. We start with honoring Neptune, and we will use the mantra Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Neptune is in a star called Purva Bhadrapada, a star with the fire of Kundalini energy, and a star that helps with purification. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhadrapada's star is ruled by an archetype called Aja Ekapada. He's able to help us experience deeper levels of silence and forgiveness. We honor him, and I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhadrapada's star is ruled by Jupiter. We honor Jupiter, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor Jupiter for being in Pisces. Again, we honor him, and I put more flower petals on Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Jupiter is in a star called Uttara Bhadrapada. Dr. Pillai says this is a star that can help with business success and business development. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Jupiter. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada's star is ruled by an archetype called Aja Ekapada. Among other things, he helps to guard precious things our treasures, our valuables. We honor him, and I put the flower petals on Jupiter. Om Arbundyaye Namaha. Om Arbundyaye Namaha. Om Arbundyaye Namaha. Uttara Bhadrapada star is ruled by Saturn. We honor Saturn, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Om Sanisharaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Meena or Pisces, which is Jupiter. Again, we honor Jupiter, and I put more flower petals on him. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Meena or Pisces, the sign that has the most transcendental, metaphysical energies of all the zodiac signs. Today containing Neptune, a planet that helps with intuition and our ability to understand our own inner life. And Jupiter, a planet that helps with everything related to spiritual teachings, as well as with wealth, banking, and everything related to legal matters. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Misha or Aries, which today contains Rahu and Uranus. They're both in the same star, so we'll honor both of those planets before we invoke the star. We start with honoring Rahu, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Next, we honor Uranus, and we'll use the mantra Om Pram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Ram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Ram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Ram Prajapataye Namaha. Rahu and Uranus are both in the star of Bharani, a star with a tremendous amount of divine feminine Shakti or power or energy. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals across Rahu and Uranus. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Om Bharaniye Namaha. Bharani's star is ruled by Yama. Among other things, he is an archetype of justice and helps to stick up for the underdog. We honor him, and I put the flower petals across Rahu and Uranus. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Bharani's star is ruled by Venus. We honor Venus, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Aries, which is Mars. I put the flower petals on him. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Misha or Aries, a fire sign with very active energies, today containing Rahu, planet that helps us to think outside the box, and also a planet that helps us make friends with new technologies. And Uranus, a planet that helps with high intelligence, innovation, success in life, and also a planet that helps with astrology. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Vrishabha or Taurus, which today contains Mars. We honor Mars, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Mars is in a star called Kritika, a star with energies of truth. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on Mars. Om Kritikaye Namaha. Om Kritikaye Namaha. Om Kritikaye Namaha. Kritika star is ruled by Agni, the archetype who rules the fire element. We honor Agni, and I put the flower petals on Mars. Om Agniye Namaha. Om Agniye Namaha. Om Agniye Namaha. Kritika star is ruled by the sun. We honor the sun, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Taurus, which is Venus. We honor Venus, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Vrishabha or Taurus, a grounded and luxury-loving sign, today containing Mars, a planet with very active energies, a planet that's both a healer and a warrior. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with a planet in it is Mithuna or Gemini, which today contains the moon. We honor the moon, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. The moon is in a star called Ardra, a star symbolized as a teardrop of compassion. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Ardraye Namaha. Om Ardraye Namaha. Om Ardraye Namaha. Ardra's star is ruled by Rudra, a very fierce form of Shiva in which he destroys negativities. We honor Rudra, and I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Rudraye Namaha. Om Rudraye Namaha. Om Rudraye Namaha. Ardra's star is ruled by Rahu. We honor Rahu, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Gemini, which is Mercury. I put the flower petals on Mercury. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Mithuna or Gemini, a sign with a great range of energies, today containing the moon, which is our mind and our emotions. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign that has a planet in it is Karkata or Cancer, which today contains Venus. We honor Venus, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Venus is in a star called Aslesha, a star of mystical power. We put the flower petals on Venus. Om Asashaye Namaha. Om Asashaye Namaha. Om Asashaye Namaha. Aslesha is ruled by the Nagas, ancient beings who have great wisdom and know secrets about cycles of time. We ask for their blessings, and I put the flower petals on Venus. Om Nagasye Namaha. Om Nagasye Namaha. Om Nagasye Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules a Sasha star, which is Mercury. I put flower petals on Mercury. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Cancer, which is the moon. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Karkata or Cancer, the most emotionally sensitive of all the zodiac signs, today containing Venus, a planet of happiness, diplomacy, a planet that helps us to enjoy material plane comforts as well as the arts. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasier sign with the planet in it is Simha or Leo, which today contains the sun. We honor the sun, and I put flower petals on him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. The sun is in a star called Magha, a star of royalty consciousness, and a star that can give high self-esteem. We honor this star, and I put the flower petals on the sun. Om Magaye Namaha. Om Magaye Namaha. Om Magaye Namaha. Magha star is ruled by the Petries. These are forms of the ancestors who have moved into higher planes of light and can give us their blessings. We honor them, and I put the flower petals on the sun. Om Petrisye Namaha. Om Petrisye Namaha. Om Petrisye Namaha. Magha star is ruled by Ketu. We honor Ketu, and I put the flower petals on him. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Leo, which is the sun. Again, we honor the sun, and I put more flower petals on him. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Simha or Leo, a sign of great power and leadership energy, today containing the sun, which is our soul, and also a planet that helps us with our health and our confidence and our ability to move into higher planes of enlightenment, higher intelligence, and so on. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. Now, I take the lit tea light and I hold it above the blackboard that has the chart and all the little piles of flowers. And I pass this over the chart 3 times in a clockwise direction, offering the element of light to all of the divine beings that we have just invoked. Now, I take a little hand fan. Some of you could use a lit incense stick. I have a housemaid right now who's very sensitive to scent. So I'm just waving a little hand fan around the chart 3 times in the clockwise direction, offering the element of air and a cooling breeze. And now I take a bell to offer the element of sound, and I'll ring that 3 times around the chart. Now I make prayer hands and make sincere prayer to all of these divine beings that we have just invoked, asking them for their positive blessings to enter into all our workplaces, our communities, our countries, and indeed the entire planet. May everyone on this planet have healthy food to eat, clean water to drink, clean air to breathe, a safe place to live, good clothes to wear, access to health care, good education, sustainable jobs. And may everyone on this planet have love in their life now and always. I pray for enlightened leaders, enlightened citizens, enlightened laws, enlightened countries, and entire enlightened civilizations. And I make a bow. Civilizations. And I make a bow. You can continue with your own prayers in silence for just a minute. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment. Peace, peace, peace. May we all go about our day or our evening in peace. Thank you all for being here. I see Evelyn asking in the chat, why is it some stars we don't put flower petals on them? Evelyn, we do put flower petals on top of the planets that are on the chart at the moment. So every planet that's on the chart, we put flower petals on top of the star that they were in. There's 27 stars, but we're only working with the 9 Vedic planets and the 3 outer planets. So we're not putting flower petals on all the stars, all 27 stars, because we are only putting flower petals on the planets that are in a particular star at the moment. That's just the way that Dr. Pillai taught the puja to me and to Raja many, many years ago. So I hope I am understanding your question, but that's why we're not doing flower petals on all the 27 stars. So if you're thinking we didn't put a flower petal on your star, the star that the moon was in when you were born, that might be because there is no planet right now in that star. However, the moon is going, if you've been coming for a few weeks, you'll see that the moon is going around the chart and goes through all 27 stars every month. And so there'll be at least once a month where we are putting flower petals on your particular birth star, because the moon will be passing through it on one of the days in the month. So I hope that, Evelyn, I hope I answered your question to your satisfaction. Okay. Not seeing any other question in the chat at the moment, which is fine. Again, thank you all for being here, for your participation. We are doing the Planetary Pooja Monday through Friday on this channel. There are other programs on this channel. We do ask that some of you like the video and be willing to subscribe to the channel to help the channel to grow. Dr. Pillai would very much like for this channel to eventually get to where it has programming on it 24/7. We do have other programming that is happening on a regular basis. There's a Healing Light program. There's a Communion with Jesus program. And on Wednesdays before this program, there is a special program for Angali, a very beautiful goddess that Shiva Kami is doing. And there's also on Saturdays, Rani is doing a program honoring one of the saints or archetypes, giving some teachings about that. So please feel free to check out other offerings that are on this channel. Oh, and today, later today, I am doing a program for Mother Mary on this channel. I forgot about that one as well in the list of programs. So thank you all for being here. Not seeing any other questions, so I'll go ahead and close out our session for today. Namaste to everyone. The light in me honors the light in you. May light encompass all.